bonsoir. It's not the evening.
At least you were quick now. You're like, bonsoir.
I was like, it was Eurovision last night. I should do it in a different language. And I was like, wait, what are the other languages?
I should teach
said
you
good
Hungarian.
evening.
I should teach you Hungarian.
I
Do you
should,
want to try
yeah, I
it?
should do. Okay, what is hello in Hungarian?
Hello.
Is it okay?
Yeah. Let's do good morning. What do you say?
Okay.
So good morning is jó reggelt.
You right? Say
Jó reggelt.
Oh God, man, I'm not awake enough to be able to process.
The first
so
one
it's like
is
your?
jó.
Yeah.
The second one is reggelt.
I can't roll my R's properly to do that. Reggelt?
Reggelt. There you go.
There
Jó
you go.
reggelt.
Jó reggelt.
Beautiful.
Jó reggelt.
Beautiful. Well done.
Thank
How
you.
how are you doing, my dear?
Tired.
Well, it's early in the morning, so
It's not. It's like, for context, it's not actually that early, but like, It takes me roughly 2 hours to become a person when I wake up in the morning. So I'm still in like booting up mode technically.
that's fine. That's fine because
How are you?
I'm still alive. That's the
Yeah.
old saying around here. So I just roll with that. And also, it's very sunny, so it's like it's messing with
Wow.
my light and everything. I'm once again in sun summoner mode.
I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah, I know.
been
I heard.
Pissing it down.
I heard. Here it's very warm. I don't know if I like it. I probably don't like it, but it's okay.
We've had like 1 week of like 20-degree weather so far this year, which is kind of shocking because we're in May and it's nearly June, and we're like, okay, I like the cold, but I would like a little bit more warmth now.
Yes, it would be nice.
It'd be nice. I'd like to see the sun a bit.
Well, that's what we said with my friends, that last year when the whole lockdown came and everything, the weather was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like we were sitting outside a lot and everything in our backyard. And now that, the UK and everyone is finally coming out of lockdown, weather is like, I don't care about you guys.
Look, it's been a long year. It's going to be cold for a while.
Yeah, it's okay. But today we have a wonderful guest who's already been a guest once, and it suddenly turned into something that we weren't expecting. So we can basically say that we are in round 2 now, because we have the absolutely wonderful Pagan.
There she is.
Hi.
I have to readjust my OBS a little bit.
Well,
See, you
well done.
got that way quicker than I did.
Well, we can roll our R's in South Africa anyway.
Ah, right, of course.
There you
I find I have to really make an effort to do it because it doesn't come easily to me.
It's not something natural though in like your accent. It's
Yeah.
not something natural in the language, so
But
it's okay.
You did great.
I've been trying to learn Spanish for like 2 years, and so often it's like, here's the double R sound. You meant to roll your R's, and I'm like, right, there we go.
Just
did
psych
great.
yourself up before you say it.
How are you, Pagan?
I'm good, thank you very much. Good so far.
You look
I'm
lovely
tired
today.
as
Yeah.
well. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in bed 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm still wearing my pajama bottoms.
It's Sunday.
Me too.
It's Sunday.
Wait, you
I-
can't
I-
see my leg. This doesn't work.
This doesn't work with the green screen.
Wait. There
Wearing
you
my
go.
critical role pajamas.
Oh, they're really nice. I have like actual legging pajamas. Like, are we doing this?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
Come on.
Like, I have like leggings.
Ah,
some
nice.
Socks.
Nice.
I
Nice.
can't
They're like legging pajamas.
I can't do legging because I like to I need to be able to like roll my pajamas up basically whilst because otherwise I get too warm.
Oh right, okay, I see.
I'm-
Well, I either have like pajama shorts or like leggings pajamas.
I
I
like
have
I
just,
like loose like
Yeah.
really loose pajamas that I can just sort of like, because they naturally just sort of roll up my leg while I'm sleeping, and it means that I can stay like not too hot.
See, I hate that. I hate that they roll up, and that's why I try and stay away from loose pajamas. Although I would really like a nice set, like a really nice satin pajamas or something, would be cute. But yeah, I hate that they roll up, so I always have to get cuffed pajamas or put fluffy socks over the ends of
Oh,
like
wow.
loose pajama pants because the fact that they roll up kills me. So interesting.
I get too warm. I can't do it. I'm like,
Yeah. I just take them off then. Like I'm just like, okay, well,
No,
if
'cause
I'm
I-
too
it-
warm, just take them all off.
nah, because I don't like the feeling of not having them on either. Which is why when they roll up, it's perfect. Because like I can walk around and I can keep my legs warm, but in bed
can
I can
have
just
no
roll up and
pajamas.
my
That's fine.
they basically turn into shorts. It's
You
great.
do you. You do you, Katie.
Yes, you
Thank
do.
you. I will.
No.
I suddenly realized that we forgot to do the introduction.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. Hi
Oh, maybe you
everyone.
should intro the show.
So Katie,
do that real
if
quick.
you would.
I can do everybody because we're all here.
Yeah.
So we're good.
There you
Hi everyone. Welcome to all the films we judged before. I'm Katie. That's lovely Lily K. And we've even got Pagan with us. Beautiful Pagan.
Oh my god.
Me. Hi, everybody.
There you go. I'm not Troy Baker. I'm Troy Faker. And that's the wonderful
Roy
Katie.
Traker. Who is this Troy you're speaking of?
I don't know. It's a guy
don't know,
around
Troy.
these
No.
parts. Just, we heard
Oh no,
about.
I think we've lost Lily.
Oh, Lily's
Oh.
frozen.
Oh, we
I
lost
thought
you
were
for a
just
second
pausing
there.
for
Wait,
dramatic
what?
effect.
No,
We lost you for a second there. We're all good.
it was good on my end. I don't know.
Pause for dramatic effect.
yes. It was on purpose. It
I
was-
thought you
Yeah.
were feigning insult when I was like, Roy Traker.
So today we would talk about a thing, but Katie didn't do the homework. So,
It's yeah. I'm just.
even though she had 2 months to do it.
There's been
It's
other
fine,
things
Katie.
going on.
You can be the impartial.
Yes.
I can
Nice, then.
look. I can talk about the one beforehand because I did watch that.
Which was trash.
Yeah.
God.
Wait, no. I
Katie.
mean, not the. Sorry, I mean the not the
Theatrical
original version. I didn't watch the actual cut. I mean, I watched Batman versus Superman, so I can finally come in on this conversation.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone. You
Yeah.
actually haven't watched Justice League at all?
No.
Oh. Could be an interesting conversation for you, Katie.
So we're doing another repeat, basically, of what we happened
This is
last
fun.
time.
Yeah.
You're gonna be the judge.
Okay.
You have to decide which one was is right. You can ask questions and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I'll ask questions.
There you go.
Perfect.
But first, I want to start with Army of the Dead because I just watched it last night.
Okay, that's fair. So did I last night.
There you go. Beautiful. Katie,
Okay.
do you have questions?
Look,
Katie still hasn't seen this.
we had a long conversation just before we started, but I was just watching the Eurovision last night. It was very important. And any time between that, I have been playing Mass Effect, hence the Mass Effect background.
I
really
finished
want
all
to
3
play
of
that
them.
game.
I'm not
I
even
haven't played
ashamed of it. I'm like, I love
I
these games
just
very dearly.
finished one on Friday, and I've just started 2. So I'm in the
Nice.
process of crowing up at the moment and having a good
Nice.
time.
Yeah, I haven't played them ever, but I'm
That-
very excited. And when I got my Steam kind of set up, Steam library and everything set up, I had a voucher, so I used that to purchase the Mass Effect trilogy, like the original one, not the
Not the
one.
remaster, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, maybe I'll go play the original first, and then if I want to play the remaster, then I will. So
I mean,
It's a good time.
I think you're good if you pay the remaster at first, to be fair, because
really,
they
Yeah,
just,
the
Yeah.
thing about the remaster is that it has all the DLC kind of built into
just
Oh,
it.
in
I
it,
see.
yeah. It's,
I see. Okay. Well,
It's
So
that's
it's
nice.
it's like a complete edition,
Yes.
if you will.
And for
Ah.
this money that they asked for it, it's very much worth it. Like, I was like, it's my crew. This is my most played game. I realized it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played the first one at least 10 times. The second one is my most played, that I played like 20 times with the remaster. And then the third one, even though it breaks my heart every time, I played it that like 10 or 15 times as well. So it's my most played game. I freaking love Mass Effect, and I am encouraging everyone to play Mass Effect because it's freaking amazing.
I will. Certainly
Yeah.
will.
I'd only played the first one once, so going back through it was interesting because there was a lot of things I was like, I went to Feros and I was like, I actually don't remember what happened here
There you go. It's a whole
because it
new
had been
world.
like it had been like it's like 6 or 7 years since I played the first one, but I played the second one like a lot because it's a great game, just in general.
Yep.
But like I also haven't played the third one very much, so that's going to be fun when I finally get to it. But I'm going to stick around in 2 for a while, I think.
Yes. It's I play them all, but I have an excuse why I finished it so quickly. It's because I was sick, so I had an excuse to be in bed and just game.
Oh, that must be good. Sometimes it's just good to be sick in bed and just be like, I need to distract
Today,
myself.
we're
with
doing
games.
nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I did save the galaxy 3 times, so I did something.
So would you be like a guardian
Mm-hmm.
of the galaxy?
That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
Yeah.
Yay.
Well, the third game, I wrote an article about Mass Effect just now, which will soon drop, hopefully.
Cool.
The third game was my introduction to Mr. Troy Baker. That's how I first.
Oh, he's in the game. Well,
Oh, he's in the third one, and he plays
honestly, what's he not in?
like a bad guy.
Yes.
Oh.
And not in a way that's like, fun bad guy, in a way that like the entire game I'm like, I'm going to kill this man.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, like
Fun.
he does a really good
Love
job.
that.
He
a
does,
really
it's
good
true.
job.
He pops up and I'm like, I'm going to beat the shit.
I will murder you. So thank you, Mass Effect, for that as well. But now, let's talk about Army of the Dead first. And
Okay.
Katie, do you have questions for us?
Is it good? I actually haven't seen very much about it. Like, I think I've seen like relatively positive reactions to it, but like the one thing I've seen is something to do with a zombie tiger. And I
Yes!
kind of looked at it and went, huh.
That
Yeah,
was
I've
one of
gotta
my
say that's
favorite
good.
scenes.
Same.
I love
really
that
enjoyed
scene
that.
so
It kind
much.
of it brought up a lot of like the Revenant bear
Yes.
scene.
Yes. Oh my
Um,
god.
And I was like, this is hilarious. Because it was kind of like the Revenant bear scene by
But
10. Because
yeah,
like it's
yeah.
over exaggerated, right? Like the
Yep.
whole film is slightly like I feel like it's tongue in cheek exaggeration for pretty much the whole film. Which is
Yeah.
genius, honestly, on Zach's part. So yeah, when that scene happened, I was like, this is gold. I love this. It's so
And
great.
I have to put it in the footnote that poor Garrett Dillahunt, who played the character, he just died in Fear the Walking Dead as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. And he got shot, and then obviously he turned into a zombie, and his wife had to put him down, and it was very sad,
Jesus.
very emotional scene. And when this scene rolled in, I was like, well, my friend, maybe you wouldn't survive the zombie apocalypse, I feel like.
I don't know. Like it was a really good. It was a good question. Is it gonna win awards? No. Is it a very playful video game-esque zombie film by Zack Snyder? Yeah, it is. It's just not gonna win. It's not gonna be everybody's taste.
Yeah.
There's some great soundtrack in it, like some great songs. The whole start of it was fantastic.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yes, I so
was-
agree with that.
interesting. It was good. It was good, Katie. It starts with somebody giving their new husband fellatio
Oh,
Yes.
lovely.
in the car that causes a car accident and then eventually starts the zombie apocalypse in Las Vegas. So
Wow.
and listen, let's just take a moment for the character story developed in the opening montage that was still better than the whole fucking Twilight. Like
Yes.
there's a whole character that you see her whole arc and it's genius.
Mhm.
And she dies at the end of this montage.
Yep.
Spoilers, by the way. You should put spoiler in the title of this.
Yes.
She dies at the end of this montage. But it's so well done. Like you
Mhm.
never see this character again. She's never mentioned again. She's just this one character that's like the main character of this montage. And it's
It is brilliant. Yep. Yep.
so good.
Yeah, I agree. I wrote it on Twitter after I finished it that, in my honest opinion, and this is a personal opinion, Zack Snyder should only do zombie movies at this point because for me, the top two Zack Snyder films are Dawn of the Dead, which was the first, my first introduction to him, and this, because first of all, this was hilarious at points. I love Dieter with all my heart. I'm just gonna say this. I think
Such a cute character. I loved him.
Brilliant character, and just the whole thing. It had a brilliant beginning. I loved that they used Elvis song in the rendition to do that montage. I freaking loved it. And then it had a brilliant end as well, which was, I would even say that the end was a bit unexpected. I was like, okay, so he's alive, but there's a twist on it. Even I loved it. I freaking loved this movie. I had so much fun with it, and it was so difficult for me to watch it because I was really tired. So I had to do many things to keep my. It's when your eyes want to shut, you feel like that you're gonna fall asleep, and I had to. So I braided my hair. I did my nails. To be able to concentrate and to keep my eyes open because I really wanted to watch it. But it was worth it. It was worth it. I'm going to say it.
Okay, so let's talk about the ending because you were like, okay, well, plot point. Okay. Firstly, if you've made it this far into the podcast, congratulations. Also, secondly, if you've also made it this far in the podcast and expect it to not be spoiler free, you are wrong. Don't watch it if you don't want spoilers. Okay, so let's talk about the ending. Vance come out and he's like, oh, he's alive. Can we talk about this fucking open plot hole here? He's waited for a nuclear bomb to go off, right?
Yes.
Walked out of a safe, which I'm sure has a safety from locking on the inside for a bank, right? Maybe it does. Maybe he's got like a, if you get locked in accidentally, here's the safety button. I don't mind that. I'm like, okay, that's possible. Waited for a nuclear bomb to hit.
Yes.
And essentially a lot of that to, I guess, dissipate before exiting the safe. And then he carried 3 loads of bags across wherever he was walking to, potentially hours of travel, and then got into a car, traveled to the nearest airport, again, potentially, like at least 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Potentially, from his safe point.
Yes.
Got on a plane.
Yes.
Is in the air.
Yes.
Covering hours of time.
Yes.
And he hasn't turned. In any of that time. And the rest of the film, people turn within 10, 15 minutes.
I have a theory why he didn't turn.
Go ahead.
Because he's the alpha. He's the new alpha. And
it doesn't matter if he's the new alpha, though. Like, they've all turned really quickly. Because
they only turned really quickly if the alpha did the bite. So...
But the alpha did do the bite. And also...
That's true. Wait, I have... That's true.
Yeah. And also, the security guard at the beginning was also bitten by the alpha.
Yes.
And he started turning real quickly, too. So I'm like, you wanna talk to me about this, Zach? You wanna sit down? Let's just have a chat.
Have you considered that your roles are not consistent for everyone?
Look, it's dramatic effect. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I think that's great. I think we also do need to touch on the fact that it is very Left 4 Dead. It's this very video game realm. It's very like it is just very Left 4 Dead multiplayer.
I haven't played
hordes.
it, so I can't comment on that. But I believe you.
From what I have seen of like clips and stuff, I can see where you're coming from with that. Like there is a vibe that I understand where you're coming from. I was thinking about this when Lily said that you said that he should just do zombie films. And I'm wondering if Zack just does better when he gets to play with his own like toolbox, because people then don't come in with like expectations.
Yes,
because it's
no
like
studio.
Yeah, no studio, but I also mean that he's not playing with characters that are already established. Yeah, so it's true. Like he doesn't have like people coming in being like, no, but you should be doing this because I know this character better than you and all this sort of stuff. I mean, because I think this is his like first original sort of IP since I think Sucker Punch.
Yeah, which was horrible. And I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say I think people really like Sucker Punch.
I haven't seen Sucker Punch, but Sucker Punch is literally a commentary spoof or like satire.
Sorry,
it's
I'm
just
thinking.
satire.
I am thinking of a different movie when it comes to. I'm thinking of what am I thinking of? It's not Sucker Punch anyway. It begins. It's got a similar sounding name, and I can't think what it is now.
I don't know what you're
know.
thinking about.
Fuck. It's the one with the superheroes.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim?
No. Fuck me. This is gonna annoy me now.
And it has Punch in the
The
title?
superheroes? Watchmen?
Watchmen?
It wasn't. It wasn't Watchmen, and it wasn't him. It wasn't a him thing. It was hell. You guys continue on with this whilst I figure out what the hell I'm thinking of.
I think you're right though. I think look, Zack Snyder I think is a lot of the time, especially with the most recent films where he's gotten like slated for things like Justice League and Batman versus Superman and stuff like that. Like he has a heavy company, like WB are just breathing down his neck, making choices for him that he just can't control. So in a film like this, where he just gets to play with characters and dialogue, and he was DOP on this film, by the way.
Yep.
Oh
he
shit!
He handheld the camera for everything.
Yes.
Every shot was wonderful.
So beautiful.
It is very video game in style and context, and here's my reasoning. The opening montage and everything, you will actually get to see characters, and they're standing in front of like a green screen, like a literal photographic green screen rollout, right? So they're standing there with a pile of dead bodies, and you get like this slow zoom, and it shows you their character. Doesn't tell you anything about their character,
and they are holding a picture or something.
Yeah, and they're holding a picture of their family.
Yeah.
So the family who've been affected by this outburst in Las Vegas, which is just wonderful because it's a character introduction. You don't really hear anything. It doesn't come up with stats or anything. And then as they get into the hotel and they get down to the basement, and it is Dieter and Vance, I can't remember what his name is.
Yeah.
When they get down to the basement, there is people that have been dead there for a very long time. So they're skeletal remains. And
oh my god,
this moment was just
brilliant,
beautiful.
Brilliant.
So one of them has a necklace that's like an old key and a heart and stuff like that. And Dieter was like, "Oh, look at them! They're so silly. Like they tried to saw their way in or dig their way in. Like, don't they know this is like the highest tech safe or whatever?" And Vance just kind of is like, "What if they're us? Like, what if they're us and that we're just in this endless simulation that when we die, we're coming back here to do the same unfulfilled thing all the time?" And I was like, this is awesome. And then it zooms in on the necklace, right?
Yeah.
It zooms on the necklace and then it cuts to a character previously that is still currently in the show who hasn't died yet.
Yeah.
That has the same necklace.
That has the same necklace, yeah. It's brilliant.
That's just brilliant.
It's
brilliant. It's so good because I'm like, oh my god, are they gonna die? And then it's gonna be like an Edge of Tomorrow thing. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I don't know. And it doesn't. Like, spoiler, it doesn't happen like that. But it is really interesting that topic was brought up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very like, I think if you enjoyed like video games, if you like Left 4 Dead, that kind of thing, I do think this is going to feel very familiar to you and very just fun. Like, it's just a fun film.
Yep.
There's a lot of meh in it. A lot of cliche moments, a lot of slow-mo. Obviously, it's Zack Snyder.
I was going to say, this sounds like Zack Snyder.
It is. But it's a very good film in the fact that it is fun. It doesn't or anything like that. But with creative license, I guess, Katie, what you're talking about when he is not like confined to the restrictions that are, predefined characters or a massive studio movie like Warner Brothers. He really does shine in a good way. It's just sometimes it's just a bit meh.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I agree. Like, but it's I don't think it's just the characters necessarily. Like, if they are popular or if they're his own creations. It's the fact that a lot of times with Zack Snyder movies, I feel like there's a confusion in them, as in how they should go ahead. I don't mind non-linear movies because one of my favorite directors is Christopher Nolan, so I obviously don't mind. But Zack Snyder a lot of time is just confused in how he tells the stories. And I think Batman vs Superman is an especially good example of that because it's a mess in the different films in one. I know, Pagan. I know we already talked
As a
about this.
point, because you guys had
Katie
to
saw it.
I watched it.
Yes.
It's bad, Pagan. I'm sorry. It's not a good movie.
But it isn't Zack's fault that the moments that you think are bad are bad.
But we're
think
not
the
just
whole
talking
film is
about
bad.
moments.
Heavily produced on that film. He was heavily organized with Warner Brothers. He wanted a different view for this film, and they were like, "No, you're having Diana. You're going to have this moment. You're going to have this moment, and that's how this has to be done." And then Zack just had to work with what he had for that. So I think a lot of the decisions that you think that make the film bad, if you probably researched it, they were likely linked to a Warner Brothers producer or company studio that was just like, yeah,
Very possible.
I like that idea, but we're not going with it. We're going to go with this. And then Zack just would have to be like, okay, I guess I got to make this work. So I think he did really well with the confines that the studio placed on him.
I think that's a fair argument. It was still god awful.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
it
Goodness.
It's really
Oh
bad,
my
Pagan. I'm
goodness.
sorry.
It's not, but okay.
So it's the same thing I saw in Sucker Punch, which was his first original idea, original completely. It was just a confusing movie. It didn't make any sense at points. It was very sexist. I will also say that.
I'm looking at the poster right now, and I'm like, oh, good lord.
Yes, I'm like
Okay,
no.
before you go any further on this, it's not a sexist film in the way that Zack was making it sexist. Zack is trying to reflect what people in society and movies and theater are doing right now to women. So the reason he's like, so somebody asked him once, he was like, why did you dress the women like that? And he's like, I didn't. You did. That's the point of this movie. Like, you're not looking at it right. So if you watch it again, like, I actually haven't seen this movie. I've seen clips. But if you watch it again, it's more of a satire on today's, I guess, vision of women in video and movie and theater. Like, it's a hypersexualized reality that he's trying to reflect back at people.
Yes.
So it's not like Zack was really sexist and was like, yeah, let's just put them in really small skirts, which is evident from this film, by the way, because Armory of the Dead is just really well done.
Oh, actually, I do have a question about that, because I know that they put Tig, what's her face? I can't remember her last name.
The helicopter pilot.
I know the name, but I think she was an Amazon, right?
Natoro. Nataro.
Yes.
Because she was in there to replace another guy who had to be edited out of the film because he was terrible. Like, a bunch of allegations came out against him, basically.
I didn't know that.
Okay, that was going to be my question. Is like, is it obvious at all? Because like they literally they filmed the whole thing. All these allegations came out against this guy. And they were like, well, we have to take him out of the movie. So they had to edit him out and then basically put her in afterwards. And I was going to be like, is it particularly obvious? But apparently it isn't. No. So that's always a good shout.
No, and is this the
I don't actually remember the guy's name, but like I know
actually
that there was
it would only make sense that this is the character that is from the streets, I guess, in like who Dave Bautista's character will like kind of recruit people, and then there's this one lady who has like a bandana on her, and she hasn't killed zombies before, but she's totally down for this and she wants to make some money. Her whole plot line or whatever, her scene, like it's just so good, Katie. It's so fucking good.
It is very good.
There's a moment where they have to walk through hibernating zombie horde, and essentially you just have to sneak past. You just can't knock them or move them or anything like that. They're hibernating. Yeah. That whole sequence with her in it, like, is just excellent. And you can, like, if that's the case, if that's who they've had to replace.
No. It was Tig Notaro's character, the helicopter pilot.
Oh, Peters?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so
okay,
she replaced Christy Elia, because there was like a whole thing where
I completely missed his story.
There was a bunch of allegations that came out against him. So they basically had to edit him entirely out of the movie and then put her in instead. And there's literally the first thing that comes up when you Google it is Dave Bautista still hasn't met her because she wasn't on set for any of it.
No
they filmed
way!
The whole film.
What? Okay, it's even better.
That is fucking hilarious. What?
No,
oh my god.
I mean, if I think
That's
back
crazy.
at the editing and everything, it makes sense. Because you don't really see them together in the scenes.
Yeah,
if
don't. But I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
that's brilliant.
her lines are just
oh,
brilliant.
she is
You would
so
very
good.
much enjoy them, Katie.
She is so,
Yeah,
so
I
good.
mean, just the whole look for her, I'm like, yeah,
Oh.
that's good.
And
Yeah.
she's an
She's
amazing
great.
actor. I'm so happy that she's getting more roles
Well,
in
that's-
films.
Yeah, well, for sure. And I think like she's a comic, right? She's a
Yeah.
comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I really enjoy the fact that it's her character you were talking about, and I
Yeah.
was talking about a completely different character, because honestly, you could like regender any of those roles and
Yeah.
they still work. Like they're so good.
Yeah.
I think that's an
this other
interesting.
lady I'm talking about is someone he uses all the time. Zack uses all the time for movies. I think she was also in Justice League. I think she was in Amazon in Justice League. I'll just check.
I don't recognize any of these people.
Just to go back on my thought a little bit on Zack's style, I will also point out that he came up with the running zombie concept in Dawn of the Dead. So that is thanks to him.
Oh.
Because before that, zombies were just walking. Zack came up with the idea that they are running and they are 100% more terrifying. And I freaking loved in Army of the Dead that he gave them a new look, and you know, they have hierarchy. They have the alpha. They have the alpha's pride and everything. And I love that. Like he put that in there. But I will also say that the whole we are going in a zombie infested town for money is the same concept that Train to Busan Peninsula has.
Oh, I've never seen that.
I was when I realized it, I was like, I don't know if I like it. I'm like,
What did you say it was called? Train to what?
Train to Busan, and the second movie is Peninsula, and they have to do the same exact thing. So they have to go back to Busan.
This is a foreign film, right? It's
It's Korean.
Film.
It's a Korean film.
Of course it is. We're talking about Lily.
Yeah,
Of course it is.
Of
Yeah.
course it is. And they have to go
That's
back to recover money from Busan, and also the hibernating zombies is also a thing that comes from Train to Busan and the Train to Busan movies.
I think that's great though. Like, and on one level, I totally agree that it's kind of like, oh, you just stolen the plot of another movie. Like, that sucks. On the other hand of that, like, I feel like it's cool to bring that story as well to a wider audience. And like, if Zack was inspired by it and was like, you know what, I could do something with this, and like really run with it, and like that sparked the idea, I feel like that's fine. I'm not super
mad at
like
him.
protective over it. Yeah. But I just
At
think
all.
like that's really interesting, because he's obviously watched that film and been like,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
I mean, I would be
love to
be
write something like that. And I was
surprised
like,
if he haven't seen the movie and he came up with the idea without seeing that movie. But I am not mad about it at all, because obviously it goes on a completely different storyline than Peninsula does. And I, as I said it, I freaking love this. Like, you know, he came up with so many awesome things that we're not necessarily seen in a zombie film. I think the only zombie movie where they played with the idea that the zombies are becoming smarter was one of the follow-ups for the Dawn of the Dead movies. I think it was the Diary of the Dead, where they were like, they became smarter, and you know, they figured out things and blah blah blah. And this, you know, this came close to that on a different level, but I just liked it. It was different. It was, you know, it was a refreshment after seeing so many zombie movies that went on the well-known path where, you know, it's a zombie outbreak, you have to save your loved ones, blah blah blah, which is, you know, it works, but I want to see something new. That's why Train to Busan is fucking amazing.
yeah, I enjoy this kind of like, let's all go risk our lives for absolutely nothing. Like, it's not even necessary.
yeah.
Like, they're just going to try and get $1 million or a couple $1 million, and you're just gonna like,
I mean, it's $200 million.
Life-changing money. No, it's like life fucking changing money.
Yeah.
Like, that's amazing. But zombies, you know what I mean? Like, priorities.
I was going to
Yes.
say, within the context of this world, money still has meaning.
Yes,
Yes, because it's
Las Vegas
only Las
goes down,
Vegas.
Ah, interesting.
It's only Las Vegas that's affected, and they've quarantined it off.
Yeah.
So they've closed off the entire city or state, I guess.
Yeah.
Of Nevada, really, I don't know, just pretty much Las Vegas itself.
Yeah.
So the rest of the world don't care. They're just kind of like, oh, that's
yeah.
interesting, and
Yeah.
they're gonna nuke it. Oh,
So they're going
fine.
into to steal a bunch of money before that happens.
Yes.
Yes, and essentially, like, these people that are going back in, like Dave Bautista's team, they had all been in it trying to save people out when the outbreak was happening.
Yeah.
So they were saving everybody, and this was all just when it was like something they call shamblers, which is like the mindless zombies. So they were just kind of like running around, grabbing as many people as they can while the government and the country were trying to figure out how to quarantine this, and eventually they did it with multiple cargo containers.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, and you get to see all of this within the first 10 minutes of the film in the montage, and it's so well done.
It is.
It's a really good, well done movie. It's not amazing, and there's definitely parts where you're like, oh, this could have been shorter, or this could have been more fleshed out, or that's really cliche. That just happens. It's a zombie film. It is what it is, and like it's just a fun movie. Like you know, it's just a fun film.
Yep.
But yeah, the ending kind of didn't sit well with me because I was like, plot point, because you know how come he hasn't turned in the last
This
4
doesn't
fucking
make sense.
hours?
To be fair, they do that in many zombie movies where, you know, they have
I
this
hate
quick.
that, though.
I know. They have this quick turn. You know, you are quickly becoming a zombie. Blah blah blah. And then there's one character where he or she just doesn't.
Through the strength of will.
Yes,
Yeah.
through the strength of will. I mean, one of the movies that not many people talk about, and I think everyone should watch it, is a Netflix film called Cargo, and it's with Martin Freeman, and he gets bitten by a zombie, and he stays alive just to save his baby, and it's a beautiful film. Once again, a new look at zombie films, and he's just so freaking good at it. I love Martin Freeman very dearly, and I think it's one of his best performances here. But also, I had another thought. The hibernating zombies come from Kingdom, which is my favorite Korean zombie TV series. So I'm like, but it was in 20%, but it was in Kingdom as well. Oh my god, I have to say this. So now I said it. I'm happy now.
It's such a great scene as well. Like, Katie, if you don't watch anything else from the whole movie, like that whole like scene is just excellently filmed, and
it has so much
well
tension.
choreographed. Yep. She was just amazing. The lady I'm talking about, by the way, is Samantha Wynn.
Yes,
and she's also been in Justice League. And things like that as well. He does use her quite a bit. He works with her a lot, so that's cool.
Yeah. She was awesome.
It's a look. I'm not gonna win awards. It's a good film.
Yeah,
but
sometimes you just want that though.
Yeah. So I have like the biggest thing I have with this film is, and I don't know if this is a really cool Batman Arkham Asylum-esque style trick, but y'all, I thought my TV was broken. Okay. And it's a nice fucking TV. We paid good money for this TV. And I thought the TV was broken. And then Adam also thought the TV was broken. And we've paused it and we've like, oh my god, is that a dead pixel? Is that a shit? And I was like, all right, let's just go into something else, go into YouTube. So the multiple times that we were watching this film, but we had to pause multiple times to be like, okay, we need to check other parts of this, because we had to go open YouTube, we open Justice League, we open anything else just to check. This film was filmed either with an error, or it's like some purposely manipulated dead pixel to cause us all fucking anxiety throughout the whole film. But yeah, there's dead pixels in this film. It's intended or not, we don't know, but that drove me mental for the whole movie.
Wait, what scene, for example? Because I don't know what to think now.
Multiple scenes,
Really?
like multiple scenes wherever it was quite dark, especially in the casino itself. Before they turn on all the lights.
Yeah.
There's dead pixels. There's at least 3 dead pixels, and we were like, oh my god, how? And I was like, I gotta go find my TV's receipt. We must have a warranty. Like, I totally thought our TV was busted, and it's just something that's in the film. Like,
I'm not gonna
Because then I
lie.
was like, oh shit, I'm gonna Google this, and I was like, dead pixels, and then I waited, and Google auto-filled it with Army of the Dead. So then I looked it up, and apparently they don't know if it's a movie error, if it's shot with like a particular camera or something like that just didn't work properly, or if it's intended. Because I thought then for a second, like when I Googled it and I saw that, I was like, this is probably a genius Batman Arkham Asylum-esque scare for
Yeah.
people watching at home. Because when you're playing Batman Arkham Asylum, for anybody who doesn't know, in a scarecrow scene, if you don't want to know, just click away now.
Yeah.
But in a scarecrow sequence, the whole thing goes blue. You get a blue screen.
Yes.
And it's like an error, and you think their PlayStation's broken.
Yeah.
That broke my fucking heart when I was playing it, and then I realized.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So yes, so I was like, I don't know if this is intended or not. If it's intended, genius. If it's not intended, sucky, because I thought my TV was broken. So
I didn't even notice. I'm
was
not
just
gonna
talking about
lie.
dead pixels.
I was just poking through to see if I could see any of it, but I mean, I couldn't just from like kind of clicking through. But I'll keep an eye open.
I think
for it
you can like. I mean, hold on. I'll see if I can send it to you.
I'd like to see.
I didn't even notice it. I'm not
We
gonna
were
lie.
like, I swear to God, this is a dead pixel.
Maybe
but
it's
it
because
is,
my eyes were tired. That's why I didn't notice it. I was just
Busy
like,
trying to stay awake.
Yeah.
I didn't
Pay
notice it at
attention.
first until Adam sent it to me, and I was like, or I said it, and I was like, oh shit, was that TV broken? And he was like, I don't know. I was like, oh my God, no.
maybe it's a prank.
I don't
Maybe
want
it's a
the TV
prank on us.
broken.
It did get to.
Literally, I thought it was.
I was surprised that it did get to some
So if
movie
you zoom
theaters.
in, oh sorry, on the photo that I've just sent you. zoom
Oh,
in,
the one on
it's
his
right on
cheek.
his cheek, yeah.
That is wild.
Through multiple scenes throughout the whole film.
And it's like
You
you'd think
yeah, you think
that's
you're-
not even a pixel. That's like that's a few pixels.
Yeah, there's definitely like, and they come up in multiple spots as well. And we were like, oh no, this is gonna be awful. My TV's broken, and like, if you've got a dead pixel, that's it. I thought you could repair it, but no, apparently not. That's it for the whole TV. So we were like, oh my God, what the fuck? Nope, it's just a fucking camera issue or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it bad that I still don't say it?
it's on his cheek. It's like the white.
It's
the
like
white
it's a
fleck.
little white spot on his cheek.
Ah, okay. I see what you mean.
It's the white fleck on his cheek there. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
it might be
that
just
is
some
notable.
camera problem. I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I
I'm
spoke
blind.
to Drew about it, and Drew said that he hadn't seen the dead pixel either. He was just like, "Man, it's a meh film." But I was like, "Yeah, but the dead pixel though," and he's like, "Didn't see it." So apparently, a lot of people won't see it, but we definitely did, and we scared the bejesus out of it.
Maybe it's some kind of like because I imagine they filmed it on some, fancy high tech camera. Maybe it's an encoding problem.
Maybe.
Probably is.
Maybe, yeah.
Or just
Just a joke.
genius way to make us feel fucking anxious. You know what I
Just
mean?
knows?
pranking the,
Yeah.
the audience. It's
It
possible.
could be Dead Pixels, Army of the Dead. Come on now, like it's interesting.
It
There's
is.
a link.
That's
I mean, you could really dive into this like metaphorically and be all like, "Oh," and Zack Snyder's gonna be like, "It was just a fucking error." Sorry.
yeah. Sorry,
Like,
guys.
But yeah, this is the biggest thing about this film at the moment. That it's like trending and stuff like that because of Army of the Dead, the Dead Pixels, because everybody thought their whole TV was fucked.
I haven't even heard about it.
Interesting.
Okay, final thoughts on
There you
Army
go.
of the Dead is I really enjoyed it. I was a bit afraid because of previous experiences with Zack Snyder movies. But I was genuinely surprised. And I am saying this.
Give him a break.
Look, I like Snyder, okay? I like him. I just don't like what he did with the DC stuff.
Okay.
That's it. That's my final thought on him in general. But I do love
Okay.
his style. I like how he uses visual experiences, how he's enhancing them.
Like, what the fuck?
But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we lost you a little bit there, but we're all
Ah,
good.
shit.
I feel like what you said was like how he enhances the visuals. Is that what you
Yes,
said?
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
the
I
one.
eventually got there. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw your surprised faces and I was like, did my internet stop?
Okay, it was just like
But it was,
Yeah,
yes.
final thoughts. I think, like, yeah, you're right. It's a fun film. It's like, it is cliche in places. It's meh. I don't usually do very well with films that have a time limit on them, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
we need
yeah.
to get this thing done in 90
See,
minutes.
I
or
kind
we're
of
gonna
like those.
die.
I like something that has a lot of tension. It's some of my favorite films are those like really high stakes like I like movies like Phone Booth or
Yes.
Captain Phillips, where the tension is just sort of like if you drop a pin, everything might go to shit. I'm like,
I
yes.
haven't seen
do
Captain
it.
Phillips, but Phone Booth for sure is like
Captain Phillips is a
what a
really
great film.
fucking good
It is.
movie.
It is.
Yeah, this one has a lot of tension. There's a lot of tense moments, and I don't usually do very well with them because I'm like, I'm an anxious person anyway. I didn't need this today.
And it depends
just
on the
makes it-
tension. Like if it's like tension in like a oh something's going to jump out at me any second. I hate that. Can't stand that kind of like anticipationary sort of thing. But like tension in like something like Phone Booth where it's like literally it's just like everything's already up here. We know the whole situation. It's not like something's going to jump out of us, but everything's bad. It's like that. I enjoy those greatly.
I think like the only thing about this tension, like sometimes in movies like this particularly, they always use this mechanic, and I'm like, please don't. Like it really frustrates the fuck out of me. Like stuff is gonna like this person is dying. They've been bitten, right? And they're just talking to this other person who knows they've been bitten. And I'm like, just shoot him in the head. Just shoot him in. Can you stop talking? Because he's gonna turn. Like, you fucking know. And it's always like, oh, let me just get this emotional bit. And I'm like, please don't. Like, if this was me in the zombie apocalypse, I'd be like, no, bro, you dead. Like, take care. Thanks. Bye. And then just shoot him in the head. Because I get so tense. I'm like, why are you waiting for it? You're all just waiting for him to turn. Just kill him now. It's just, you just have, it's just easier. It's just a nice moment where you're like, hey, listen, thanks for everything. Take care. Like, just kill him. I don't get this tension. I don't understand why it's in films. And I know it's there for dramatic effect. And it's there to like elongate the scene. It's supposed to be emotional. You can't give me an emotional story here filled with like the teeniest bit of like comedy because it's like really cute and it's a nice moment. And I'm like, no. This whole time though, I'm like, just shoot him. Just shoot him. I don't care. Cry about it later. Just shoot this person, please. Thank you.
I think my favorite example, like that's done well in a movie like that, is from my favorite film, Shaun of the Dead. Is the whole sequence in the basement where they realize that they haven't got enough bullets left, and they're like, "Oh, we found a way out." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna stay here." And they have that really nice moment where they touch foreheads, and you're like, "This is just sad," but also you can understand like it doesn't have that sort of like waiting to turn thing because it's like and he's probably not going to turn like at this point and they're about to leave and there's not enough bullets for them to hold on to. There's no point in doing this, plus it leads to the end of the film where he's in the shed.
Which is kind of like, I don't mind that because I'm like, this is hilarious, it's good, it's like it's
sad
and it's a good moment. Whereas in this context, like in this like the serious nature of the film, right? Because essentially this person has been bitten, they're about to turn, and they're not inside Las Vegas anymore.
Yeah.
So this could potentially now kill the whole fucking world. And there's like this like a little bit of emotional dialogue, and I'm like, I get it. It's an emotionally heavy scene. I understand. There's a relationship here. Just fucking kill him.
This needs to happen now or we're all screwed.
Yeah, just do it now. And I know that everyone's like, just give him a minute. Like he's going to die and then he's going to turn. I'm like, right, but anything could happen. Her gun could jam. Something could happen here. Just kill him. Like I don't get it. I get really frustrated at those kind of bits. I'm like, oh, I can't watch this anymore. I get really frustrated.
Fair.
Sorry. So what did you say regarding like you being a crier? Was there a moment in the film that got you?
Yes, the only time I cried on this movie is when the Alpha grabbed Dieter. Was like, no, no, he's the best
I know he's the best character, and he's got these like really girlish screams. It's very sweet. He's like the sweetest little character in this. Although I gotta say, like everyone is built.
Yes, 100%.
Like Dieter, who comes across as like, oh, what do you do? How do you kill a zombie? And all this kind of stuff. He's like ripped. I'm like, all right.
Now, here's my question. Is Dieter the one with the blonde curly hair?
Yes, he's the
moment you said his
German
name
character.
and you were like, I love him, I'm like, I think I have a feeling I know who this is.
He's a very sweet character.
very sweet character. I love his questions. Like, you know, there's this scene at the beginning where they are planning the heist and they are asking about the zombies, and he's like, okay, but what if you smash his head with a rock? Does that work?
I know. It's really sweet, honestly.
so
He's like
sweet.
the cutest.
Yes, I love that man, and I was very sad that he's also
I was just
gone.
thinking about that, like one of the moments there where the character Tig Notaro's character is talking to Dave Bautista as they're walking in, and she's like, "All right, so let's just talk about triage, because clearly the Dieter is like the most important because you need the kid to open the safe, but like I'm next, right? Because I fly the helicopter, so I am definitely the second most important. Like I'm definitely more important than that guy, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that whole thing was reshot and she wasn't on set, and like that blows my mind. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
It is crazy. Amazing.
Living magic.
I'm glad to hear that they did it so successfully.
I couldn't even
There-
tell. I'm surprised by this.
There was one thing in the film that was like weird. Is the smoke? She's smoking a cigarette or something, and it looks CGI. The smoke itself looks CGI. So I would imagine it's probably because of this whole thing that she's been imposed into the film.
Maybe.
But that did bother me for like a lot of her scenes. Whenever she comes out and she's smoking, I'm like, why is the smoke CGI? It's so fucking annoying.
Maybe she can smoke.
It's probably because
also
that she probably made that part of her character that wasn't originally in the movie, and there was no smoke on the original sets.
Yeah,
they had to CGI it.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they put it together.
I really
but
want to see
know that
behind the scenes on this movie. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, me too. That would be really cool.
I do like that Netflix has been doing this thing recently where
Yes.
like a thing has been particularly popular. Like so we made this like whole behind the scenes like thing that you can just watch separately, and it's a good. I think it's pretty. Plus it's nice because like I'm always somebody who likes buying DVDs to watch that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know how they made it and all this, and like just. So the fact that Netflix are kind of making the effort to be like, so we know that we are a streaming platform, but people still like watching behind the scenes stuff. So here's some stuff that you might enjoy about like. I also like the fact that they've been putting up like, if something does particularly well, they'll be like, here's a blooper reel for you, and I'm like, thank you.
Yes. Totally
I
agree.
love that. And before we go anywhere and ending the episode, let's talk a little bit about the new Justice League, the Snyder Cut, because it was a main point in our argument the first time you were here. And
It was?
I will start with, I will admit that it is better than I thought it's gonna be, but it's not a masterpiece as everyone claims it to be. I will also put that
All
in
right.
there.
Well, this has been fun. Thank you for having me.
I haven't got one of the reasons why I hadn't got around to watching it is because it's 4 hours long. And it's like I want to be able to take out like a proper chunk to sit down and watch it properly, and I just haven't been in the mood to watch a 4-hour movie. But I think I very much appreciate the fact that this is like a thing that was allowed to happen just on a what's the word? I've lost the word. Nope, it's gone.
Like on public demand.
Well, yeah, it's sort of like just on a level where it's like it should have been allowed to happen, right? This should be something that we should put forward and say like, oh, we should just let the directors actually make the movie that they want to make. Like, especially from like a studio standpoint, really, it should just be like, okay, you have an idea, we like this idea, go make the thing. If it sucks, it's your fault. Like,
I have
like surely that should be the stance that a studio should take with that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like they shouldn't come in and be like, we know best. It's like, let the filmmaker make the film that they're gonna make.
Yeah.
And unless there's like it's like an insanely racist or sexist or like thing, because then it's like, yes, the buck should stop with the studio at that point. But like, if the movie's going to be something crazy and all this sort of stuff, just let the filmmaker make the thing. And if it sucks, then it's their fault, right?
I will go back on one point for Army of the Dead, just because you mentioned the racist and sexist thing. There's a joke in it, and I really love that joke. I am very glad that Hiroyuki Sanada doesn't die in this movie, because it's like, I love this man and he always dies in everything. He's becoming the next Sean Bean, and I don't like that. But there's a joke in this. I can't say what the original is, but he's saying my catchphrase, which I really love to use as well, which is easy squeezy lemon squeeze, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And he says the original version, which is very racist. And they have like a banter about it, like, you know, he can't say it because he's Japanese. But
yeah, you know, it says Japanesey instead of squeezy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Just the sweetest, like, it's just the sweetest moment, because Dieter, who is just the most innocent character, is just like, excuse me, we're not allowed to say that anymore. You have to say like squeezy,
yeah,
instead of Japanesey.
Yeah.
Lemon squeezy. And he's like, and that's when like Teeth's character is like, I think it's okay if he's Japanese. Yes. Like, I think he's okay to make that joke. If anybody here is making it, that guy. So now that it's fine to make this joke. Like,
but it was just lovely to hear from him. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I was like, oh, I love that. Really I don't know why I love it so much, but I was like, my heart is happy now.
It's a good moment.
It is. But back to Justice League.
League.
I saw that you were checking something out, but before you go into your thoughts very deeply, I will point to my favorite YouTuber, one of my favorite YouTubers, Avis the Alien, did a very, very good essay about the Snyder Cut. And I would we will put it somewhere down here. I will highly recommend checking it out, because he likes the movie, but he was able to see the flaws, and I think he did a very great job explaining where it could have been, you know, for example, a lot of things could have been cut out easily, which I very much agree with. But yes, I will let you get into it, Pagan, because it's I know you love it.
I love it so much. Like, we're gonna need longer than what you have here. I love it so fucking much. The theatrical version was a farce compared to this. Like, this is just incredible. Yes, of course you could have cut it down. Of course you could have. You could have released the Snyder Cut in a theatrical length version originally, as it was fucking intended to be. But then Snyder Cut would have made his extended version on Blu-ray, which anybody could have watched for 4 hours. So the real version, or like that would have been released, could have been like the 2.5 hour cut, which is fine. I don't mind that. There is so much. I can't even like. This is a different fucking film.
It is.
This is a different film for sure. I don't know what Joss Whedon, Warner Brothers, whoever was the producers, did with the theatrical version, but fuck me, did they get it so wrong. Like, they've reshot so many moments that were just already perfect. Why did you need to reshoot that? When Superman resurrects, right? Joss Whedon's theatrical cut, flies over, goes out to the memorial, stumbles, falters, has a moment. It's in the middle of the day. In the Justice League Snyder Cut, he flies across. There's no falter. At the end of the film, where there's like this explosion from the mother boxes, in the theatrical cut, himself or Superman and
Steppenwolf?
No, sorry, Superman and Cyborg.
Oh, okay.
Superman and Cyborg both fall to the ground.
Yes.
And in the Snyder Cut, that shit doesn't happen. They don't fall to the ground. They're very fucking powerful beings. They're fine. So I'm like, there's just moments in it where I'm just like, why did you bother doing that? Like, those moments were literally already shot for the film. You did not need to reshoot them to suit your taste, and yet they did. So yeah, that shit just bothers me. This whole film is just incredibly more diverse. There's so much more about Cyborg and his family and his history and his personality and who he is, like coming to terms with what he considered a disability or like a disadvantage at first, and is now coming into you know what, I'm okay, I'm powerful, and I like there's some sort of repairing a relationship with the father. The Flash's story is so good. Like, so good. He's the pivotal moment. Like, he is the turning point in this whole film. Without the Flash, y'all fucked. But the theatrical version cut him out pretty much entirely, and that just makes no sense to me. The fact that, and I'm sorry to spoil this for you, Katie, but like the fact that Steppenwolf and that whole kind of like the evil plotline won, like they did it, they won, and Flash then reversed time, like went back in time to a moment where that couldn't have happened. It's just so good. It's this whole film is just so different, and I have no idea why they butchered it for the theatrical trailer. I am all for release the Snyder Cut, release or restore the Snyderverse. Just restore it. Let him make the films that he wants to make. The only caveat I have to this is Martian the Manhunter.
Oh, that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, if I'm honest, like that whole thing really was like, huh? I really wish I had filmed my reaction to watching this for the first time, because this, like, there were some great moments, especially, okay, let's talk about my favorite moment in the film, right? So Superman is like on his way to like this nuclear power plant that Steppenwolf was taken over, and he gets there just in time to stop Steppenwolf's axe from like killing Cyborg, and it stops like right here because obviously he's Superman, and it's amazing, and he's like, oh, and it just like stops right here, and Superman just goes, not impressed, uses the frost breath to break the axe, and just is like, boom, and just that action, I died. I was so excited. I was like, yes, fucking amazing. And that whole sequence is so fantastic because it's all about like them coming together, working as a team. Something happening outside where the Flash falters, which is also in the theatrical cut. He gets shot and he falls down. The Snyder Cut, like, he actually gets back up again and manages to heal himself and then restore the non-ending of the universe, basically, by running faster than the speed of light to reverse the time back to where that moment was necessary. Also, I have a lot. There could be hours of conversation about this. Let's dissect every scene.
But I will point out that Superman could have done that as well. So it's not something that only the Flash can do, because Superman can turn back time. That's a fact.
No, that's true. But Superman was destroyed in the burst. So Superman didn't know. He wasn't informed of the story or the plot. Yeah, the idea was that Flash would generate enough kinetic energy to jumpstart Cyborg to give him enough energy to enter the mother box's basically programming system and take it down from the inside. That's the story. Superman doesn't have electrical powers, unlike Static Shock, which they have to make a fucking video or film about. Please, please make the Static Shock film. Whoever's out there listening, make it. It's awesome. Anyway, so he needs to, kind of generate this enough energy. He gets shot. He falls down. That's when that energy point is missed, and that's when the end of the universe takes place, because he didn't get inside the mother box in time to separate it. So it fully forms the unity. The whole universe is fucked. Flash is obviously like separate to time, so he was able to run straight towards where he was supposed to be before he got shot. Which is touching Cyborg to give him kinetic energy to get inside the box. So he just like reverses time. The whole sequence is amazing. The soundtrack is wonderful. It's just, you mean I can't with this film. I love this film. I love it to death. It's fucking amazing.
You mean that Diana comes in and every time the same music starts to play, no matter what?
That I gotta say is so annoying. Like, you didn't need to do that. That was really annoying. As soon as you notice it, you can't unsee it. And you're like, this is so annoying. Please stop. But other than that, and sorry, where I was going to the original point, Martian the Manhunter, without trying to get super excited about this film, Martian the Manhunter was a really interesting twist, because I was like, huh? What the fuck? But apparently, originally that was going to be Green Lantern. And Martian the Manhunter scene was then input into the film. So at the end of the movie, where Bruce Wayne is like in his amazing house and Martian the Manhunter is coming down, apparently that was supposed to be Green Lantern, and they didn't get the rights or something. So and it's not the Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern, it's a different version. I can't remember the name, but it was supposed to be that. They didn't get the rights or something like that, so they changed it to Martian the Manhunter, which is fine. But that was a really interesting plot point that they left out of the theatrical cut, which arguably I think could have been left out of the Snyder Cut if that was originally released in theaters. Like if Snyder released his thing, that whole section could have just been cut out, which is fine. But yeah, that was probably the only thing that I was like, this makes no sense. I don't know if I like it.
That was
rest
the
of
only
film,
thing.
Yeah, that is literally the only thing. I loved every part of all of this.
I have
Okay.
2 things.
Yes.
One, I'd recommend people go and read the Hollywood Reporter article about where Ray Fisher talks through everything that happened.
Yes.
Because it's
Diabolical.
the whole thing is insane, and like he should get all the sort of justice that he deserves, really.
Absolutely.
I'm very glad that he actually got to be in the film that he signed up to be in.
Same.
At this point, so would definitely recommend going and searching that out, because it's long, but like it is like they break down everything that went into what happened, and Ray Fisher was very blunt with all the stuff that he went through.
Good. Yeah. Like I'm glad that he's like spoken his truth. And,
Oh
like,
yeah,
not
he's
very upset about
been
it. There's no
very open
patting
with like,
about
hey,
it.
this thing has been like they fucked me basically,
Yeah.
and it was not good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, dude, absolutely, please keep talking about this shit, because it needs to end.
For sure.
But on a slightly lighter note, the only thing I have actively really seen from the film, because I have been kind of avoiding seeing too much because I do want to watch it properly, but the thing I did see was the bit, I don't know whenabouts in the film it is, but they're all just walking upstairs.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, why are they walking?
That's the
It's like,
it's the,
and they're just walking up the stairs, and you're like, what?
it's the scene in the theatrical cut where Flash would save the people by like holding their head and like zooming them outside. That whole sequence was completely reshot and rewritten. Like Snyder's cut was way better.
It just was very completely out of context, very funny to me to watch all of these like incredibly powerful people just sort of stomping upstairs.
Yeah. They gotta walk up the stairs,
But like Batman could have, like, he's got a grappling hook. He could have there are people who can fly. I'm like, why are they walking?
They're civilized people. Because not all of them like can. Like there is a moment where they have to cross like a section that's like a broken bridge or something. So they all sort of do exhibit the fact that they could have like zoomed across it, jumped across it, used a lasso, like, you know what I mean, like, or a grappling hook. So yeah, there's some cool moments in it where
it's just one of those things where it's like, this looks like it could have been way more kinetic.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like those like realistic moments in it, I really enjoyed that. I think I'm like, oh, this is cool.
I think
but I also had
mostly
the same reaction when I first saw it. I was like, why are they all walking up the stairs? I don't have
like,
time for this.
They're walking up the stairs, but there's also like really intense music behind it, and it's like, this is just funny. And I don't know if it's really meant to be, but it's hilarious.
I think there could be like a tongue-in-cheek moment on. Like, I don't think that stuff goes past Zack Snyder. I think he totally
one would
knows.
hope.
No, he totally knows. There's just some great. I can't even, Katie. I can't. I love this movie. I think it's fucking amazing. I think if anybody hasn't watched it and has only watched the theatrical cut, you would do yourself a disservice by not seeing this movie. It's a different film.
I still haven't watched the theatrical cut, and I will not watch it. That's 100% sure. Like, there's no point.
Don't watch it. I think like it will totally taint your version.
No, I don't even care about it, to be fair.
Really...
Like, this one made sense. I think the slow-mo was fucking overdone. Like, it's just like...
It's Zack Snyder.
Like, he always goes a bit too far.
But he definitely did go too far. I really loved the Joker scene. And I am glad that Jared Leto got the chance to do the character one more time. I think he and Ben Affleck has such a good chemistry in that one scene. And if I'm correct, that they didn't even shoot together or something like that, which is like, Jesus. How do you do that? Like, it works so well.
Would you like to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
Because I read this a lot, like, when the thing came out. After studying Zack Snyder's Justice League, IGN concluded that there were 24 minutes and 7 seconds worth of slow motion
Yes.
action. Breaking this down further, the credits, the movie with the credits is 4 hours, 1 minute, and 53 seconds. That means that 9.97% of the film is in slow motion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you've gone too far.
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I actually think most of the slow-mo in this film felt okay. There is certain moments where I was like, this takes away from the urgency of the of the scene. And that was when my God, all the names are escaping me today. Sorry. The Queen of the Amazons is coming out with the mother box. And she's watching it crumble, and there's a slow-mo scene. And I'm like, this is really not necessary. Like, I totally like the slow-mo crumble. I like the running out of the tunnel in slow-mo because all the ladies are breaking the banister thing, like the things that are holding up this entrance,
the pillars.
basically. All these beautifully strong women are breaking that up. And she's slow-moing out of that. That's fine. The slow-mo should have ended there. When she comes out of it and she's just kind of turning around and there's this whole slow-mo section, that I was like, yeah, you know what? You didn't need that. That is okay. You can get rid of that one. Also, I would also like to point out that a lot of the slow-mo in the scene or in the film potentially that is taking up with that 24 minutes is stuff to do with the Flash. And it kind of has to be in slow-mo.
Well, but why, for example, why do you need Aquaman slow-mo walking towards the sea, drinking the whiskey, and then fucking...
Oh, he did, yeah.
He did. The waves are coming up and everything.
He
drinks the whiskey, and then he drops the whiskey in the fucking sea.
Because we need time to just look at...
I actually did... I did have a thing with this as well, because I was like, hello, he's Aquaman. Why would he litter? He wouldn't fucking litter. And then I was like, yeah, but he is Aquaman. Like, he doesn't actually care about the sea. He cares about, like, the people, potentially. But the sea itself, he's like, you should respect it, but I don't think he actually, like, cares. But then at the same time, I was like, yeah, you just wouldn't fucking... And I gotta say, like, the cut where she's singing after he leaves and she's, like, sniffing his jumper and everything, I'm like, that's unnecessary. Understand the mind frame, understand where you're coming from, Zach, but totally unnecessary to linger that long on that sequence. I'm like,
he's also a very weird sense of timing, this Snyder, and I think he works on like a slightly different like rhythm to a lot of other filmmakers, where he's just like, no, we're gonna let this one play out for a long time, and everybody's like, are you sure about that one, Zach? Like, yes. We're going to sit in this for a long time.
I think it would work in other films where, like, maybe make you intentionally uncomfortable, which is great. But this kind of sequence, I was like, yeah, I get you. Understand the concept. Totally not necessary for this length of scene. Like, this could have just been done in a clip, and that's fine, if at all. But like the majority of the film, I really don't have a problem with. I think it's just an incredible display of what his original vision was and how it links into Batman versus Superman. I'm like, great. The black suit, yes, please. I'm all about this. The whole, like, Superman's whole story has changed. Cyborg, you really do get more of his story, and it's usually all about him, which is just wonderful. Like, it's so good to see his character development. The same with the Flash, like, because you're setting up for other films and stuff where he's like saving Iris, with like the dog scene. It's a great film. It is really fucking long, so do like take a whole day to do it. But if you're in any way a fan of like the original cut, again, you would do yourself a disservice not to see this, because this is incredible.
Okay,
fair enough.
I don't necessarily agree. I will also point out that this movie showcases what I said before, that Zack Snyder will put visual things in front of story a lot of times, and you know, he will be very heavy on the visual stuff, which is not necessarily bad or unnecessary.
In front of story, this whole film had more story in it than the
That-
theatrical version twice
Obvi-
over. Like this
I
whole
agree.
film was
Yes.
so story orientated.
I agree, but let's agree that there were a lot of scenes that looked cool and it was so fantastic and all that stuff, but it, like the Aquaman scene previously mentioned, or that singing scene for Aquaman, it's you just don't need that there. I get
Okay,
it.
two scenes.
It's
He's
visually
very-
striking.
What else you got?
Okay, Flash saving Iris gets fucking ridiculous
So
when
good!
when he grabs that hot dog and puts it in his pocket. It's like, did you really need that in there?
Yes,
No.
yes.
No.
Because you know why? You know why?
Oh, because he gives it to
You're
the
watching
dog.
this happen, right?
Yeah.
Right. But stay with me for a second, right?
Okay.
You're
You
watching
can
this
convince
happen.
me,
He
yes.
goes out into the street. He saves Iris. This is probably the first time he's probably ever seen someone so beautiful. And this is supposed to be a love at first sight story, okay? With
And
the
it drags
Flash's
out for 4
storyline.
minutes,
This
yes?
is supposed to be yeah. And it's perfect, right? Because he's like looking at her, actually taking it in, because he doesn't have the time in real time to do that, okay? Because he's too nervous and shy to look at anybody really in the eye. So now that he's like on his terms and he's saving her life, he takes a moment to actually look at her and be affected by what he sees. And again, it's this love at first sight version. People might not agree with it. That's fine. And then he sees the hot dog flying in the air and you're like, this is weird. And he takes the hot dog and puts it in his pocket. And for the whole time, you're like, what the fuck? Where's this going? It's gonna be a snack later? What is happening here? Gently saves her because any emotion that he does is going to be reflected in real time on a massive scale. And all of her clothes and everything CGI'd. Beautiful. Fantastic work at VFX. Wonderful work. So his actions were obviously purposely very small because of the CGI, but also because of the fact that he's doing everything in super slow-mo. So it will affect her in a big bucking way if he like tips her one way, she break her neck. So it's really nice, really cozy. And then he flashes back and he's into like the dog store where he wants to get a job and he's using the hot dog for a snack. The whole time we were like, what the fuck is with the hot dog? What is going on? And I feel like it really reflects Flash's mental character that he's already 3 or 4 steps ahead. Like his like mental capacity, he's already thinking ahead about what is happening, because I feel like, I mean, it's very speedy, right? And he's already thinking about how this is going to be an advantage to him when he's finished with this section. So I thought that was a really cool way to do that. Like you're already thinking about stuff that's happening in a second to help corroborate your story, that there was like a second where you just weren't here and now you're over there. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, that was a really long-winded way to
No,
say that.
I love it. I like
You're just 2 steps ahead.
You know,
Essentially.
I just love that you're incredibly passionate
Into it,
and so in love with the stuff. It's I think it's fun for me to listen to.
Yeah, obviously.
I look, and I'm not saying that he doesn't do any wrong. There's definitely stuff that I'm like, no, that just doesn't track. Like the whiskey bottle thing, I definitely was like, that doesn't track. The singing going across with thing doesn't track. The fact that Mira has an English accent now, super weird.
the fact that she's in it is
Huh?
super
Like,
weird.
what? Yeah, but I mean, she's supposed to be in it. They're supposed to be their first meeting.
I know,
like,
but
ever.
I hate Amber Heard with all my heart, so I wish I wouldn't have
Oh,
to.
oh, sorry. Yeah, Amber Heard is a dick. The character though is great. I would love to see her replaced. Fuck Amber Heard, honestly. But like, I think this like character is necessary for the plot line, and it's good to like set the story up. But
Which
yeah,
will,
like
you know.
he's not without faults, but the film overall is just incredible and a completely different film than was released.
It is definitely
Sauce.
different. I don't think it's incredible, but I respect your opinion.
That's
And
fine.
I will.
No, and I respect yours. A lot of people won't mesh with this. A lot of people don't like Snyder. A lot of people don't like DC, and a lot of people don't like Justice League in general. That's fine. Like, if you like Marvel over that because you have different, like, I guess, needs that are met by Marvel, cool beans. No worries. That's great. That's all on you. I like Marvel films just as much as the next person. I just really am a big fan of the Snyder Cut. I'm super proud of the community that was built around Snyder, and everything that he went through, and they raised so much money for suicide awareness. There's also a moment in the Snyder Cut where there is a beautiful kind of drive away scene with actually Batman and the Flash as they're driving away, and you see on a billboard it says "You are not alone," and
Yeah.
it's an anti-suicide campaign, and that just touches my heart, like because his daughter had died, and I just thought this is a wonderful community, and it shows really what they could do. That they restored the Snyder Cut. We did that. We as a community restored that. We demanded it, and it got made, and now it's here. And now I'm like, restore the Snyderverse because he needs a chance to make the rest of his movies.
I don't think that's
I
gonna
would
happen,
like to
Pagan.
see the actual cut of David Ayer's Suicide
Yes.
Squad, just to see what that would have been like.
Yes, I would love to see that.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Well, this was really fun. We didn't kill each other.
Yeah.
I
think this
So
was a
very
far more.
respectful.
I think it was a far more civilized conversation.
That's because you didn't mention Batman versus Superman. Really, that's where it
yeah,
was
yes,
like.
yes, that's where we lost it last time. No, to be fair, I do agree. It is definitely worth watching, even if I don't think that it's the masterpiece that a lot of people claim it to be. It's still worth to watch. It's way too long. I will just put that out there. I could have cut out a lot of scenes myself, but that's me.
So was the Lord of the Rings extended edition, but
Of course.
everybody loves them, Lily. Jesus, hop on board with the time.
I do love it. Look, I don't care about time. Most of I don't care if it's really, really good. but the what is it? The prologue or the ending, which is it's
Epilogue.
controversial. The epilogue.
Okay, yeah, I would agree. Epilogue's
didn't-
totally not necessary.
You didn't need that, even though it has the Joker scene. You just didn't need that in there. But that's just my
Agreed.
opinion. That's but anyway, it was lovely to have you again.
I'm all riled up. Thank you.
Now we're awake.
I'm awake now.
We need another refreshment episode where Katie finally watches and we hear her point of view. On
Yeah,
Justice.
we'd love to hear Katie's thoughts. Actually,
Yes.
I
I
will.
would agree.
I'll get to it. I will. I promise. It's on the long old list. But I will say I'm going to see A Quiet Place Part 1 and 2 in the cinema next Sunday. My local cinema is doing like a double bill feature.
I am so
and I haven't
angry.
seen Quiet Place yet, so I'm going to have an evening.
Oh my god,
Great
I love The
film.
Quiet Place. I love
Superb
it.
film.
Yeah,
So
I'm
good.
really excited because I've heard really good things about it. And plus now I get to see it in the cinema, in my local cinema, which I love very dearly. They've got this new screen room, which they call the lounge. It's got these big leather seats and they've got like table service and stuff where you can get people, they can come in and give you food. And I'm like, oh, this sounds great. I'm gonna have a good
Nice.
time.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait to
sounds
see
really
the Quiet
All
Place
right.
too.
Oh, Lily.
What?
Oh, there you go.
What happened? Did my internet
You
die
stopped.
again? Ah, shit.
died
Anyway,
again,
we are at the end. So
We're at
thank
the
you again. Thank you again, Pagan, for coming.
Thank you for indulging me. I went on a lot. You have a lot to edit. Thank you
It's
for your time.
It's also my stupid internet that I
What I'm
have
here
to
for.
edit. It's all good. We love you and please come back again. And you
Always
guys,
happy to have you guys with me talking about films. This is
Yes.
so great. So I'm super happy to be on your show.
Let's do it.
Excellent. Guys, take care. We love you all and see you next time.
Godspeed.
Bye.